exactly as I theorized. Era's plague is little more than a stigmatized condition with a perfectly rational explanation.
Which is?
A perfect storm of family traits and lifestyle choices, exaggerated by circumstance. Diet, athletics, and sleep all factor in.
Casmin hasn't been sleeping much.
Might be worth presenting this research to her to see if the rest resonates.
Good idea.
Oria and I will join you when you're ready.
You're seriously telling me Carnhaven is now completely independent from Sansa?
Bryn's parents fought in the war.
Wow. I guess it makes sense that our history books are a little out of date, but I never imagined so much could change since the Surge.
From what we've gathered, quite a lot has happened inside the Vale as well, has it not?
Yes, that's true, but I don't know how to describe it. The Archon's malfunctioning, the Surgeborn appearing, the retreat to Cassidon's Hold. They're all phases of this one crisis. So even when catastrophe strikes, life here still feels stagnant.
Casmin, we need to talk.
Could it wait? I'm in the middle of touch counting the armory.
No, it can't.
We've been worried about you.
I'm fine. Seriously, don't worry about me.
No one has seen you sleep in days. You're clearly hiding 2 bands worth of supplies behind the caravan shutters. And half the time you're talking a league a minute about catastrophes that are never going to happen. We can't let you keep going like this.
No. Maybe I've been a little off lately, but I'm fine, seriously. I'm just trying to keep our Weaver Band prepared in case... I just want us all to be safe.
We are safe.
Kaz, I've been doing research on a condition you might know as Era's plague.
I'm not possessed.
We know.
The Enclave studies on Era's plague concluded that it's not a religious affliction, but a disorder of the mind. The sufferer experiences a cycle of relentless, disturbing thoughts and all manner of compulsions to fix them, including hoarding. Though it may be passed on through families, this condition is often exacerbated by a lack of sleep.
Bryn found a diary belonging to a Cassil man in Denevron who suffered from this. I think you should read it. He describes the intrusive visions that began after the birth of his son. Horrible fears he would drop his baby that he was so ashamed of, he couldn't share them with anyone.
That's awful.
It reached a point where he couldn't hold his own child, until he sought help.
So, you're saying... if I have Era's plague, there's a cure?
We found evidence of a treatment, yes. We'd need to talk to someone at Cassidon's Hold to know more.
But we didn't want to speak to someone outside the Weaver Band on your behalf without talking to you first.
I don't know.
None of this is your fault. It's okay to get help. We all need it from time to time.
But no one else seems to need help. Everyone else is handling being here just fine, and I'm the only one having a breakdown.
Hey, it could be any one of us tomorrow. And I know for a fact that if this were happening to anyone else, you'd cut them some slack.
She's right. It's hard for all of us to see you suffering like this. We care about you, and we just want you to be okay.
Fine. You can talk to the Weavers in Cassidon's Hold. I can't promise. I'm still not sure about all of this.
We'll go one step at a time. Things still good with our Spitfire problem?
All handled. You did great out there. But now we have another problem. Madame Silverbeak. Seriously? I said it while you were out there, and the look she gave me.
Oh no, you didn't.
Oh, yeah, I did. And I shall never again. But well played, Miss Bryn. But it was quite the experience. Your scry is not at all what I'm used to. It's better, more vibrant. Anyway, sincerely, thank you for your help. If I need more, I'll know to just ask this time.
Arik, about those statues in Upper Denevron.
You mean the Friends of the Eye?
No, I was talking about the champions.
Ha, some of them, maybe. But you could be the most heroic weaver in the world, and unless you're cozying up to leadership, there's no statue being built in your honor.
Huh.
Anyway, what do you want with them?
Well, we're wondering if there could be a familial connection between someone in our band and one of the figures represented on the statues.
You could dive through the archives we've preserved in Casten's Hold on all our heroes. That's the slow, boring way.
Don't let Lane hear you say that.
Or you can compare mantles to see if their patterns are a match.
You can tell two people are related through their mantles.
The spindle could tell you more about the science behind it. But from what I understand, there are similarities across bloodlines in how a weaver's cloth pulls magic from the air. A pattern tracer allows us to analyze those similarities between two weavers' patterns. I'll give you a design for it. Once it's built, take it to the Axle and she'll trace the mantles for you. We've preserved mantles belonging to all our heroes in Casten's Hold.
Thanks, Arik. Aurea will be pleased.
Aurea? For what it's worth, she's twice the weaver any of those statues might claim to be. Hey, Bryn. Sorry, was lost in thought. It's this scry thing. It's been bothering me.
You said it felt different from the ones you're used to.
Yours was much more intense than any we have, and I need to know why. Have we overused them? I don't think so. Yours is at least as old and clearly has seen good service.
That does seem strange.
Yeah, I went digging through everything I could find about the scries. I'm sure the Eye has records he won't share with me, or anyone, really. But I still found a lead.
A sudden burst of bureaucratic insight.
Yeah, yes, I suppose. Shipping records for scries. There were some set to go out right around the surge.
Exports? To bands like ours?
Probably. Well, that's the problem, though. There's a lot of very specific shorthand on these manifests I just don't understand.
We should talk to Casmin. She lives and breathes shipping logistics.
I was hoping you'd suggest that. I was considering asking her myself, but...
She's a little intimidating?
No, that's Aurea. Casmin just seems busy. Always busy. And I don't want to overstep here with your crew.
We can talk to her together. Now that we have a pattern tracer, it's time to head to Cassidy's Hold. Hey, Kaz. Arakim has a question.
Is that why you've been lurking around here? Bad habit, you.
Yes. I need some help puzzling out shipping manifests from before the surge.
Scries, secured export, dates. You think some scries never made it past the Veil?
Doesn't it usually take some time to figure that kind of thing out?
Yes, but I'm a genius. This is what I do, Bryn. So, we should run these down. The records here aren't complete, though. They don't confirm the shipment.
Any idea how we do that?
This is where Bryn does what she does. Off the top of my head, there's 3 places we should look. Drover's Gate in the lower city is obvious. Logs will be there. Also, I imagine the Bastion would track export of any and all scries, military applications. And we should canvass the Hearthsiders. Maybe someone still alive who worked the caravans. I'd ask the Axel. She'd know who to ask. And we're not welcome in the general populace of Cassidans.
We have that in common. Impressive.
Happy to help.
Have you noticed the struggle in our new friend?
Eric, you mean?
Yes. Every part of him yearns to be serious, mature, maybe a little dangerous. But show him something new, like a properly maintained scry, and it all falls away.
Revealing...
An excited, intelligent young man who craves novelty.
Think that's why he hangs around the camp so often?
No, I know that's why. He knows he can't go back to it, but misses what you do. I wrestle with it too. I like being a watcher, but if someone handed me a potion to move back in time or be young again, well, let's say I'd give it some serious consideration. Either way, he's got a deft hand with the scry. I'll give him some pointers, but he's a natural.
You sure you don't want to run away, screaming?
What? Why?
Nothing. Never mind.
Come on. Seriously. What are you talking about?
It's just... That's generally the reaction that sufferers of Era's plague get across the Maida Basin. After all, Era only stalks the wicked for penance.
Are you religious yourself?
I don't really know anymore. My mother was deeply religious, so I was raised to believe in the southern gods. I always accepted them as real, but lately, I've begun to question.
How so?
I mean, if what you've discovered is true, and the visions I have aren't penance from the goddess of justice, I've been hanging on to a lot of self-contempt for nothing.
That is a heavy burden to carry out of faith. Kaz, you do so much for other people. What could you possibly have to repent for?
I don't know. At all hours of the day, a voice is howling at me for never being good enough. Never hitting the mark. It's all I can hear. How am I supposed to ignore it?
Lane's research indicates that with treatment, you can though.
I think if you knew how awful I really am, and how much I deserve to be reminded of it, you wouldn't say that.
Kasmin, we know you, and we accept you as you are.
We'll see.
Have you ever told anyone else about these visions you're having?
Only one person. My mother.
I take it she wasn't very supportive?
I'll never forget how she looked at me. Like she was terrified. She told me to keep my impure visions to myself, and that if I behaved, eventually Era would leave me alone.
How old were you?
5. I had just started school, and I was struggling with being away from my parents to attend classes. Images of them murdered by bandits while I was away hounded me during the 6 hours I spent outside the home. I swallowed my fears, though. hoping, as my mother told me, that if I was good and went to school, the visions would stop.
Even if Ira actually was out for you, I still wouldn't run. Anyone who cares about you knows you're not a threat.
I wish I felt as sure of that as you do.
In time, I'll be able to say, I told you so.
Maybe.
Isla, I was wondering if you might be able to help my friend.
Oh, what seems to be the problem?
I was wondering if you've heard of an affliction known as Ira's Plague.
A damaging misnomer, but yes.
It certainly seems like the Enclave had a better understanding of it than the rest of the Maida does. I believe our quartermaster is suffering from it. She's a Kashar like you.
Ah, yes. The condition isn't unique to Kashar, but it's believed we experience it in greater severity due to our unique sleep cycles. I've heard of Ram, Obrun, Ashar, and Kasil alike who've experienced it. The first line of treatment is sleep. Unfortunately, that's difficult for Kashar. Thankfully, a sleeping balm should go a long way to help her. But it's not enough on its own.
Is there a more accurate name for this affliction?
Unfortunately, no. The research done on disorders of the mind is limited, even here. And I suppose academics are hesitant to rename conditions until they've become better understood.
Changing the name would just confuse matters, especially after the surge.
Then again, using a name that implies an individual has been cursed by a goddess of justice doesn't exactly foster empathy for its sufferers.
If this won't cure Kasmin, what else will we need to do to help her?
It's what she needs to do for herself, sadly. There is no cure for Ira's plague, only treatment and management of the condition. Sleep will put her on the right track, but she needs to eat properly and actively fight the compulsions that stem from her visions.
She has a long road ahead of her.
She does. But she's not walking it alone. She's lucky to have friends like you.
Have you experienced Ira's plague yourself?
Not personally, no. But when I was born, my mother sought out the sleeping balm recipe in case I ever needed it, being Kashar. Great foresight on her part.
You've never spoken of your mother before?
She died before I was even a year old. And my father doesn't like to speak of her.
How do I get hold of a sleeping balm?
Well, I can make one for you here if you bring me the ingredients. You'll need emerald lucin, a gemstone famed for its ability to radiate peace, and chill feather weave for its cooling properties. In addition to this, you'll need oil membrane for the formula, and of course, red cotton, because it filters the light so that the eyes find deeper rest.
I'll bring you those right away.
Arakim mentioned you wanted to compare a mantle with Matteo Agretius?
We'd like to see if he might be my father.
All right. I've set his mantle aside for you. I'll need yours too, and the pattern tracer to perform the test.
You all right?
A little nervous.
I have to say, your mantle is spectacular. Matteo's easily pales in comparison.
Oh, thank you. And, is he my father?
No, I'm sorry. It's not a match.
Oh, I see.
Hey, we'll keep looking. Maybe now it's time to talk to Lane?
You're right. We should consult with them. I just thought... Silly. I'll see you back at camp.
Got it.
I know you're intrigued by the... Take care not to get caught up in your enthusiasm.
I won't.
I have a strange request.
And I have very little time. How is our little project coming?
I'm working on it.
Then let's prioritize that. I have people to arm.
sturdy. Not made for traveling like Solar's. Xavier's diary. From a quick skim, it doesn't look like he was a particularly happy man. detailed logs of every caravan to move in and out of the city.
Before the Surge, the Enclave was a trade hub. This is one part of why they were so successful. Lane and I should be able to parse them quickly enough. See if any scribes were due to go out.
harvest of resonance from one of these masters. Bring the Strand to Isla on our behalf.
Perhaps this will be enough to dispel her nerves.
Only one way to find out. A detailed list of all scries exported from the Enclave. Some marked pending.
Perfect for cross-referencing in our little hunt.
The discoveries we can glean from your findings are incredible, Bryn. This schematic is much more complicated than the previous one, though. And I'm starting to realize why Tarmakind is a lost art.
What do you mean?
Xavier used a traditional forge because he needed to reach much higher temperatures to work the signature Tarmakind vents. Unfortunately, my forge is built for transport. It's unable to sustain those higher temperatures.
Could we improve it?
Dom had that idea of a set of enchanted hammers. They, combined with the forge, might be enough heat.
He'll be glad to hear it.
Could you maybe get him to enchant them on my behalf?
Why? I'm sure he'd be thrilled to help you.
I know. We're just not on the same page right now. I'd rather be further in my investigation before I speak to him. Besides, he mentioned he'd need some cinder linen for the enchantment, and I was thinking you could scavenge some for us.
All right. This is a little strange, but I guess I can talk to him for you.
Thanks.
Sola, my love, have you borrowed my moisturizing cream again?
Oh, yes. Sorry. Do you mind?
No, not at all. But Lane could make you your own if you'd like.
Oh, I don't want to trouble them. I'm proud of this one. Worth the materials, I'd say.
I was really hoping we'd find my father among the statues, but it's time to expand the search. You were right, Lane.
I often am. Let's build a census of male Oberon in the Enclave within a limited time frame that makes sense for your birth. Knowing your father had to have been here when the veil went up narrows our search significantly.
Time to chase a paper trail. Between the two of us, we'll find your father.
Yes.
Hey, listen.
What is it?
Statue or no statue, I'm sure your dad was every bit the hero that your mom said he was.
Our archival work might not be the most glamorous way to chase down a lost relative, but it is effective.
You're right.
A list of vendors. Maybe Oria's father is among them. My old friend Aaron used to boast he could sell an Oberon their molted feathers. Census records. A pivotal piece of the puzzle, as Lane would say. Others might call them dull. The Bastion. Lane said to look for regiment records. These are the regiment records Lane asked for. My father told me stories about how instrumental the Oberyn were in the wars for Carnhaven's independence. They would glide behind enemy lines and strike with precision. Hey, Dom. Sola was wondering if you could enchant a set of hammers after all. She's finally ready to use them.
Of course, but why isn't she asking me to do it herself?
She's been a bit busy with the Tarmakine stuff she's working on.
Right. I'm happy to enchant the hammers. I'll need cinder linen to do it, though. Do you have any on you?
As a matter of fact, I do. Here.
Perfect. I've still got some of the byproduct from your drake harvest as well. I'll enchant them right away. Do you think I should be the one to bring them to Sola? Or would she prefer that you do it?
Why don't you bring them? This Tarmakine project is really important to her, and I think it would mean a lot if you helped out.
You're right. She's the love of my life, after all. I'm happy to help. But maybe you could join me? After all, you're the one she's been entrusting the details of her work to. Maybe she'd rather you be there.
I could come, if you really think that's best, but it kind of seems like the two of you should...
Great, it's settled. We'll both go.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't mind me hanging out here, do you?
Not at all. Why do you ask?
Cool. Casmin just seemed a little put off. I heard her saying something about me stalking Bryn the first time I came here.
I think her exact words were lurking, not...
She'll warm up to you in time. She always does.
This isn't working. The forge isn't hot enough.
I've stoked the forge before.
No, this work is somewhat more precise. It's not all bad news. I can forge a set of Tarmakine arms now. I'll give you the design. But the remaining pieces are too large to make without reaching the temperatures that Xavier was able to at his forge.
Sola, it's all right. We can figure this out. Maybe we need something stronger than cinder linen to augment the hammers.
No, enchanting isn't the solution. Sev and I need to head into Denevron to get Xavier's forge. It's built for this.
And it's exceptionally heavy. You and Sev are strong, but do you really think you'll be able to get it back here?
We have to try.
My love, I know this is important to you, but do you think Xavier's forge is a long-term solution? The caravan won't be able to carry it. You'll need to leave it behind when we start traveling again.
I don't want to keep traveling. I want to settle down. I want to stay in one place. I want a home.
But we're weavers. Our home is the open road. Traveling is what we do.
It doesn't have to be.
Staying in one place, it's not the life we decided on for ourselves.
It's not the life I thought I could have. But here, in the Enclave, it's possible. We could be weavers and stay. You could enchant, I could teach smithing. I could unravel the Tarmakind techniques and pass them on to a new generation.
You've clearly spent a great deal of time thinking this through. Without me. It's not what I planned for myself, though. Or even a life I want, for that matter.
But we're married. If we don't want the same life, where does that leave us?
I don't know.
Maybe I should give you two some privacy to talk this out.
It's fine, Bryn. Clearly, Sola would rather speak to you about her hopes and dreams than me. Maybe it's best if we take some time apart. I'll go.
Fine.
Sola, are you...
I don't even know what just happened. I can't believe he just left.
He was caught off guard. It will be okay, I promise.
I don't know anymore. If that doesn't keep you safe, I don't know what will.
How you doing, Sola? That discussion with Dom was a little rough.
I'm frustrated and hurt. I feel like I don't ask for much, and when I finally do, he acts mystified.
He absolutely could have handled that better. But I think he was genuinely caught off guard.
How is that possible? I feel like I've been trying to tell him for ages. Or hint at it, at least.
Maybe that was the first time he really understood, though.
Maybe. I just need some time. And space.
I don't know if space is the best.
I can't have that conversation again right now. Especially if you won't consider... Never mind.
Ah, Bryn. Hello. Yes. Yes. Hello. That's right. That's the correct thing to say, isn't it? Is it?
Breathe, Dom.
Yes. Yes, of course. I just not feeling myself.
Solar?
Yes. Yes, flames, yes. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened there.
I think maybe you two have some things to talk through. After a little time to cool off.
I had no idea she wants to stop traveling.
We all have to slow down sometime. We can't be on the road our whole life.
Well, yes, she had, I suppose, brought it up once or twice, but I assumed she meant later. Like our dotage.
At least it's out there now. Take a bit. Think about what she said. What she might want, and what you want. There's a way to make it work.
I shall. Yes, because I would very much like it to, as you say, work.
What have you got for us, Lane?
I've narrowed it down to 3 likely candidates. A Hallowpire priest, a farmer, and the last military commander prior to the evacuation to Cassidon's Hold.
A military commander sounds promising. How do we narrow down which of those 3 is my father?
That's where we step away from the books and do some investigating. Bryn?
I'll check the garrison, the market, and the Hallowpire Rise for any traces of these Oberon.
Talk about your family, Sola.
I don't have much family to talk about anymore. They all passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was a long time ago.
A resonance. Freshly pulled from an Ark's pattern, as requested.
By the flames! You can't be serious! This is incredible! You know, great Archons weren't built with patterns. They formed. This will propel my research faster than...
What is this about?
Nothing.
Is that so? Then why is this rogue point harvesting Archons for you?
It's my fault. I was just hoping Isla could tell me more about their patterns.
Nice try. You weren't here 5 minutes before Isla roped you into her project. One that I have forbidden my daughter from pursuing.
Daughter?
The reason you didn't want me studying active arcs was because it was too dangerous to harvest one. But Bryn offered to do it for me. None of our people were put at risk.
The reason I didn't want you researching arcs is because I ordered you not to. Not as your father, but as the leader of the Enclave. This insolence and disrespect will not be tolerated. You will drop this obsession at once, Isla. For good.
Hey, are you...
I can't be seen speaking to you about this subject anymore. I'm sorry.
But...
I need to get back to work. Goodbye.
Bryn?
Hi, Zola. Everything okay?
Oh, yes. Welcome back. It's good to see you safe. Could we talk when you have a moment?
Of course.
Sounds like you've got yourself entangled in a family drama.
Without realizing it, yes.
I feel for Isla. Growing up with a successful parent can be difficult, even in the best of circumstances. And I certainly had the best of circumstances with my mother. Still, it was a lot to live up to.
I'm trying to help her, however I can.
Careful. No one knows the extent of a family's affairs except those inside it. You might be stumbling into something bigger than you realize.
Sounds like your work with Isla was a smash success.
Not exactly. She seems less willing to talk to us than ever.
Yeah, I wouldn't be so sure of that. She sent me here with a secret message, after all.
She did? What about?
Isla wants you to go to the Archon's hearth. It needs to be at night, though. She'll sneak away from Cassidon's hold to guide you on the scry here. She wants you to collect Archon parts that may be hard to spot without her help.
I don't think I've been to the Archon's hearth yet. Where is it exactly?
You've been pretty close to it.
I have?
Wow. You've forgotten our introduction so fast.
I take it that's where the cavern near the harness leads.
Correct.
So what is it exactly?
The Archon's hearth is where all arcs were created. We lost control of it almost immediately after the Surgeborn appeared. Not that we had much use for it. The Surge hit it hard, and most of the weavers who knew how to build arcs died as a result. But all the materials to build arcs are still there. Hence, the Spindle wants you to go.
What parts does Isla want me to collect?
There'll be 3 what's-its, 4 who's-its, and maybe a thingy or 2?
For a guy delivering secret messages, you're not really a detailed note-taker, are you?
Yeah, I glazed over when she started listing the parts, and, well, we decided her sneaking out to guide you on your scry was the best course of action. Besides, even if we knew what the parts were called, there's a lot of junk down in the Archon's hearth. It wouldn't be easy to spot on your own.
The Eye, well, her father, was livid when I brought her the resonance. Couldn't Isla get in trouble for sneaking out?
I know. Oh, she's never been cooler. But yes, she could absolutely get in trouble for this. We should make it a quick trip.
Got it. I appreciate you being the middleman, Eric. Sounds like I'd better get to the Archon's hearth.
Enjoy the trip. I hear it's toasty when you get deeper in. It is basically a giant forge for arcs, after all.
You wanted to talk?
Can you walk with me?
Why all the mystery, Milady Smith?
In a word, I'm worried.
About...
Sev, he's been acting strangely. Has been since we met the Hearthsiders at the Hold. He's going there a lot in off hours, and he honestly looks a little exhausted, despite the fact that we're taking space. Dom even came to tell me he's noticed Sev slipping out late at night.
Have you asked Sev what's wrong?
I have, and he waves it off every time.
Right. What do we do about it?
Sev has completely cut me off. But you know how I tease Lane for watching us all the time? Maybe that will pay off here. I hate this cloak and dagger stuff.
You do? You seem pretty good at it.
Talk to Lane for me. I'm sure they've seen what Sev is doing, but maybe they also have a guess at why he's acting so odd. Okay, let's go back before anyone gets nosy. And if Sev asks, Blood Moon cycle. Not sure if Ram blush, but he sure does.
Got it. Eric, you don't think you could have mentioned that the spindle is the Eye's daughter?
That's her business to share.
Yes, but it would have been nice to know I was helping his daughter rebel against him.
Instead of helping his unrelated colleague undermine him.
Wow. Mean. But fair.
Your intervention definitely had an impact, though. A number of enchanters immediately started pushing for more. More expeditions, more studies of the Surgeborn, you name it. That's the kind of pressure the Eye was hoping to avoid. But I think him blowing up was a misstep. If I had to guess, that Axel started the rumors.
Do you think that's what Isla wanted?
No. She just wants to keep her head down and not have people focus on the Eye-father thing. And frankly, I get it. If Khan Stanild were my dad, I'd take it to the grave.
Okay. But if I'm walking into any more deadfalls, a heads up would be nice.
I promise. Unless it's someone's private business.
When we first met at the harness, you were very brusque.
All of you.
And so on. How come?
Snap decision. I was there to warn you and suddenly my earpiece activated. Someone was watching me on the scry.
You think it was the Eye?
I do. He'd made some comments about previous off-the-books expeditions I'd done, such as the one where I slipped your band a warning about the flood. So, I kept up the front as best I could.
Do you need to sneak around him a lot?
To get things done, I often have to cut through all the rules and limitations. For example, your help is making things happen. The Eye's planning something, but no one's telling me what. I'm not sure the Spindle or the Axle even know. I'd guess we're all going to be handed orders and expected to deliver on a moment's notice. The Eye always claims he's protecting the people by sharing on a need-to-know basis. What do you make of it?
Everyone works better when we're aware of the challenges ahead. I couldn't do what I do if Dom refused to tell me how my mantle works, for instance.
No limits then? Just share everything we know.
sharing everything means there's no consideration given. It's just a stream of too much information. I think you can be considered in what you say. Still, erring on the side of giving people more information and trust lets them be their best.
Wins, why aren't you the eye? You do a better job with that attitude. You've given me a lot to think about. I should get back to looking over these reports, though.
We need to talk about Sev.
Wait, you know why I'm here?
I'm a keen observer, and you have no Pangel face. Also, Solar has many strengths, but subtlety is not one of them. Sev, however, is somewhat more adept at hiding things. He's been moving back and forth between here and the hold quite regularly. Let me ask you something. Did you notice anything odd when you were at the hold?
There was a moment when Sev approached the Eye to speak alone.
Ah. That confirms my suspicion, then. Have you noticed that Sev and the Eye wear a similar symbol?
I had not.
The symbol looks to be a stylized... well, I'm not sure, but I think it's something akin to a water wheel. I don't recognize it myself, but given the Eye is wearing it, the Enclave might have some record of that particular symbol.
The archives in the Spire might have something. Though I'd rather just ask Sev.
Given his secrecy about this whole affair, I can't imagine he will be forthcoming.
Good point. And yet... Either way, time for a little investigation. Hey, big guy. Everything okay?
Yes, mostly. I was wondering if you had a moment sometime. I might need your help.
Sev, we're all a team. Whatever you need, we'll handle it, okay? Just make sure you tell me everything.
Thank you, Bryn. I'll be at my usual place.
You know, I've been curious about something.
Oh, I know this one. A soft cloth and some ergon seed oil.
I'm sorry, what?
You... weren't asking about tusk care? Everyone eventually asks.
Spirits, no. But that's intriguing. I was wondering about that symbol you wear. With the wheel?
Oh, that's just a family heirloom. Of sorts. Thought it looked nice, is all.
Just thought it looked nice.
I'm so sorry, Bryn. Just remembered, I have to move some things for Aurea. Maybe another time.
You said you needed some help, Sev? What's up?
Have I ever told you how I envy your clarity, Bryn?
How so?
Maybe I'm just romanticizing it, but you seem like someone who's always known what you wanted to do. To be.
I was born in the tail years of a liberation war, Sev. It never made sense to me that I couldn't be anything I wanted. So I just decided.
I wish making decisions came so simply to me. Perhaps you can give me pointers when the time comes. And anyway, I've been working on a side project to help the Hearthsiders. And I'm having trouble sourcing some rarer components.
What are you working on?
I can't say much. But I can tell you it's a project authorized by the Eye himself.
That revelation would carry more weight if he weren't an ass.
I know he can be abrasive, but he's got a plan. Says he's been working on it for years.
Do the Axel or Spindle know about this plan?
I'm Honestly, not sure. I don't think they have details, no.
But you do.
He's sworn me to secrecy. But I promise you, Bryn, it's nothing against us.
You're sure?
I know I come off as a pushover. But I know when to hold my ground. And would never harm this group, Bryn, I swear on my tusks.
If the Hearthsiders are asking for your help, can't they provide what you need?
The survivors are strapped. Their supplies have been dwindling for years now. I'm sure before the surge they would have had rare materials in reserve. But those days are over. So... I have to ask for your help.
If you think it's worth doing, it's worth doing. Just tell me what you need.
Bryn, honestly, thank you. Your trust means a lot. I've put together a schematic and I'll leave it with Solar. The majority of the asks are reasonably mundane. It's just...
Oh no.
Well, I need some particular secretions from a glass tail.
Why is it never onions? You know, small, green, distinct lack of talons. Never flash freeze you into an icy prison, though I suppose both can make you cry. I'm kidding, Sev. I'll see what I can do.
Hey, Seth. What's your back with Kenrick Stanild? He's slippery.
From what I can tell, he wants to help the Enclave as much as anyone.
Then why is he only starting now, after 2 decades of stagnant leadership?
He didn't have the means before.
Did you learn anything?
When I asked Sev about the wheel symbol? No. He was pretty evasive.
Being evasive is, in and of itself, rather telling. Means we're onto something of note.
How did you know I asked, anyway?
I watch people closely. A habit so deeply ingrained you could call it a groove at this point.
Lane believes that a priest could have been Oria's father. I'd better look around. Found a diary belonging to the priest.
Anything of note written inside?
From a quick skim, it details his vow to pledge himself to the first flame. And only the first flame.
Ah, I see.
I'll look elsewhere. Ah, my old nemesis. Paperwork. Mom would be so proud. Registries. Ah! How are things, Lane?
Sev isn't here for the moment. You're clear.
I'll be quick. The symbol is registered to imports brought in by the Northern Order. Also, I have the location of a worksite in the Institute.
Good to check it out then. If they were working in the secret areas of the Enclave, they must have had political pull and trust.
On it. This was where the farmer Lane mentioned was selling his crops. I should look around. A pair of silver glasses with an intricate cloth connecting them. Enchanted.
Could it be?
Bryn, please, bring those back to camp.
Of course.
Sev is repairing a loom gate again, is he? I know this design.
Wait, really?
Doesn't it look familiar? Just like that seal we used to repair the loom gate in Glintwood Hollow.
I guess so. Though that one didn't need me to take out a glass tail. I was a little green for that when we first arrived.
We all knew you had what it takes. Sev certainly believed in you, and still does. Just like I'm choosing to believe in him.
Anyone else notice foods were better lately?
Now that you mention it,
Only takes Casmin a little time to adapt her cooking to the local produce.
Have you taken a closer look at the glasses I found in the farmer's stand?
I can hardly believe it. My mother's craftwork is unmistakable. Enchanted to adjust with degrading vision.
So we found your father! Lane's notes mentioned his name was Eugenius Osphine.
I guess so.
I thought you'd be happy.
No, I am.
I know you might have had different ideas about who your father is. It's okay if it takes time for this to sink in.
I thought I came from a long line of weavers. Now... Never mind.
Aurea.
I need to be alone right now.
It's my pick for book club. I can't decide between a love story about a studious ram and an Oberon warrior that couldn't be more opposite. Or a treatise on Tazan governance prior to the Surge.
Those do seem like very different options.
Yeah, well, normally we'd have passed through somewhere with a proper bookshop by now. But we're running low on options inside the Vale.
Hey. I just wanted to say, I'm here for you when...
When I'm ready, I know. I'm still not ready to talk, but thank you.
Hello, hello. We're fixing loom gates, are we?
What? Wait. Who told you?
You just did. But it was an educated guess from what you designed. Is this what the Eye has you working on?
You know I can't say. And honestly, I don't really know more than beyond the fact that there's a broken gate. I could do better work if I knew more, of course, but sometimes we have to fix things in the dark. Just the way of it.
My dad would tell you that's a great way to lose a hand.
You're just not seeing the whole picture. I'm sorry. I don't see it all either, but I've decided to trust that the head of the Enclave does.
I get it, big guy. Still, if he tells you more, just... let us know if it's anything dangerous, okay?
I promise. You trusted me to tackle this task without enough details. I can do the same for the Eye. For now, at any rate. If things get dangerous, you'll be the first to know. Thanks again.
Welcome to the Institute. Every one of those constructs you've been beating on was conceived in these halls.
Imagine standing among those weavers in the Enclave's time, fearlessly pushing the boundaries of enchanting.
Well, they broke everything too. Literally everything. So, they weren't that fantastic.
This passage must be the Enchanter's Way.
only as Expansion Cavern 36 on the map. Wonder what they were building.
I spoke to Khan Arteme about it, but unfortunately, anyone overseeing the plans for this was killed in the surge.
First hive's up ahead.
Do we have any useful notes on the hives from the previous axle?
Don't bother trying to deal with them. Too scary.
I'm beginning to get an inkling of why they replaced him. I get the feeling the Eye would love to send you out among the Surgeborn with Bryn.
What do you think, Eric?
I'd go in a heartbeat, but I've got dozens of scouts to coordinate. Wouldn't wish that job on anyone else.
I was never a big believer in healing the gemstones myself. But there must be something to it if the Enclave authors use them in their alchemic practices.
An Ark of the Wintertide. They use sheets of ice as armor. Just be aware they will reform it.
the Ramenos Canal. Named, of course, for Arden's right-hand woman, Diane Ramenos.
this one.
Form and function. Form and function. Always refreshing to work with carved materials. nice to work on something a little lighter every once in a while. The tricky part's the balance.